doing stories about the come close. It's just a story. Welcome to Stories by the Campfire. How many have gone to camp before? You did? Did you tell scary stories by the campfire? Then good. It's cute. I hope. I'm not sure it's scary. Okay, so I'm going to read you a story. It's called The Haunted House. After we read the story, we will have s'mores, and then I'll sign your cards for you. Are you ready? One time, a preacher went to see if he could put a haunt to rest at a house in his settlement. The house had been haunted for 10 years. Several people had tried to stay there all night, but they always would get scared out by the haunt. So this preacher took his Bible and he went to the house. Went on in, built himself a good fire, and lit a lamp. Sat there reading the Bible. Then, just before midnight, he heard something start up in the cellar, walking back and forth, back and forth. Then it sounded like somebody was trying to scream and got choked off. Then there was a lot of thrashing around and struggling, and finally, everything got quiet. The old preacher took up his Bible again, but before he could start reading, he heard footsteps coming up the cellar stairs. He sat watching the door to the cellar, and the footsteps kept coming closer and closer. He saw the doorknob turn, and when the door began to open, he jumped up and hollered, "What do you want?" The door slammed, and there wasn't a sound. The preacher was trembling a little, but he finally opened the Bible and read a while. Then he got up and laid the book on the chair and went to mending the fire. Then the haunt started walking again. And step, step, step up the cellar stairs. The old preacher sat watching the door, saw the doorknob turn, and the door open. It looked like a young woman. He backed up and said, "Who are you? What do you want?" "I want you to help me." The haunt sort of swayed like she didn't know what to do, and then she just faded out. The old preacher waited, and when he didn't hear any more noises, he went over and shut the door. He was sweating and trembling all over, but he was a brave man, and he thought he'd be able to see it through. So he turned his chair to where he could watch, and he sat down and waited. It wasn't long before he heard the haunt start up again, slowly. Step, 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 step. Closer and closer, step and step. It was right at the door. The preacher stood up and held his Bible out before him. Then the knob slowly turned, and the door opened wide. This time, the preacher spoke quiet-like. He said, "In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, who are you, and what do you want?" The haunt came right across the room, straight to him, and took hold of his coat. It was a young woman about 20 years old. Her hair was torn and tangled, and the flesh was dropping off her face, so he could see the bones and part of her teeth. She had no eyeballs, but there was sort of a blue light way back and she had no nose to her face. Then she started talking. It sounded like her voice was coming and going with the wind blowing her. She told him, "A man killed me here in my house for my money and buried me in the cellar." She said if the preacher would dig up her bones and bury her properly, she could rest. Then she told him to take the end joint of her little finger from her left hand and to lay it in the collection plate at the next church meeting, and he would find out who had murdered her. And she said, "If you come back here once more after that, you'll hear my voice at midnight, and I'll tell you where my money is, and you can give it to the church for helping me rest." The haunt sobbed like she was tired, and she sunk down toward the floor and was gone. The preacher found her bones and buried them in the graveyard. The next Sunday, the preacher put the finger bone in the collection plate, and when a certain man happened to touch it, it stuck to his hand. The man jumped up and rubbed and scraped and tore at the bone trying to get it off, but it wouldn't come off. He ran around screaming like he was going crazy. When he confessed that he had murdered the young girl, he was taken to jail. After that, the man was hung for his crime, and the preacher went back to the house one midnight, and the haunt's voice told him to dig under the hearthrug. He did, and he found a big sack of money. And where the haunt had held on to his coat, the print of those bony fingers was burned right into the cloth. And she never returned. Once you get your s'mores, if you want to hang out in the tent and tell scary stories to me, I'd love it. We only have about 2 minutes, but you can. Oh, my helpers have arrived. Can you please help me pass out s'mores? Take a glove, please. So pick up a s'more and take a napkin and then pass them out. Got it? Ooh. That one was the ones from Nebraska, so you don't take that one. Those are good. Take 2 at a time, maybe.
Who in here was scared? Aha!
Front row, come see me. You can walk to the second row. There you go. Thank you. Are you okay? I'm all right.